That was her voice being spaghettified.
Holy crap! That was so funny. Homie, that wasn't even a word. That was a wail of torment. Oh my god. Holy shit.
We just gotta sneak.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Gab, you sound like an.
I don't know what happened, but I am on safe driving mode on Zoom.
Oh no!
Oh.
Are you walking very quickly?
Are you on a Razor scooter, perhaps?
Gab, I told you to take your rollerblades off before the stream started.
Yeah,
you-
I don't care what you say. Being on a Vespa is not conducive to roleplay.
This really sounds like, Gab, you sound like you're an audio log in a horror game where it's like.
The problem is that I'm gonna probably have to restart the app, which means leaving, which means ruining the stream.
No. That's okay, because if you leave and then just rejoin, all the cameras will just reset themselves, so you're cool.
Oh, okay, I'll be
Yeah,
right
no,
back.
you're totally cool. There's no need to worry about it.
All good.
I am Gab.
I'm here. I'm still safe.
There goes Yorda. Wait, actually, no, Nico. If you move to the one side of your camera, we should still be able to.
Oh,
see
Nico
you.
can be Yorda or God.
Wait, if I go to the other side, am I?
It really? Oh my god! It looks like. Hey guys, hey, can I play some D&D? Can I join you?
Please help.
That was a lot of fun. Can I come?
Why can't I come to the party?
Oh my god!
At the party.
That's what Gab sounded like. I'm gonna be the best guy.
No, it's. I mean, I'm gonna keep all this in the recording because, truly, honest to God, it really sounded like spaghettification. That was so funny. And I think if I just move you there, we shall be back.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me just put on my
Identification,
dishwasher,
okay.
and then y'all can start.
You're totally
And then
cool.
Getting
we'll
out
put
of your
all that
car
back.
for us, Gab.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
not
thank you for
driving
getting off your razor
And
scooter.
thank you for stopping yourself from running 60 miles an hour while streaming. That's very unsafe.
Thank you for coming to
You want to hear a
Brazil.
quick story about unsafe driving?
Yes,
that happened
please.
Yes.
Yesterday. So, like Kate said, it was my friend's 21st birthday, so we went out Saturday. So at midnight, it was 21st. He's a triplet, so both his sisters. One goes to school in his home state, and he lives in Rhode Island, and one goes to school in Mass. So they both went home for their 21st, and they're like, "Haha, Nick, you fucking suck. You're not home for your 21st birthday." So he drove home this morning to surprise his family, but only got like 6 hours of sleep. So he texted me when I woke up. He texted me, he's like, "Dude, leaving Marist was not a good idea."
Oh no.
When
But
you-
he made it safe, and he's fine. So no harm, no foul.
Okay, good.
I'm like
Alright.
missing something.
It's
Oh, I'm
happening,
missing my
but-
character sheet. That might be necessary.
Oh, tonight is such a
I'm so
treat.
sorry.
Tonight is gonna be wonderful,
Yeah,
and
you're-
I cannot wait.
Gab, you're providing free entertainment. Do not apologize.
Truly, I feel like we're on like one of those like, do you know those like zoo streams where you just kind of like watch the animals in the pen? I feel like it's the exact same vibe as this, where we're just watching Cab go about her apartment.
Also, by the way, I sent a Snapchat to Drew. I have nothing. It literally looks like I'm a squatter. It like looks illegal.
You have a
for it to
bed
be
and a
sent to
toilet,
you.
and that's about it.
I was gonna
And
say
the
you
kid-
have.
Oh no! That's
We're just gonna say that.
It's like I'm watching Unfriended.
And instead of dying, we're just like, oh, my pizza's here.
Somebody order a pizza.
I did, but I said hold the pizza.
No, for real. Like, imagine Unfriended, but like instead of like it cutting back and like that one dude is like shoving his hand in a blender, he just has like a bowl of ramen. He just went to go get food and his internet's shit.
Oh man. I feel like you're carrying us around. It's so fun.
okay. I'm here.
But, I finally know what it's like to be an infant in Gab's arms.
I'm here. All right, I'm ready. Sorry
Well,
about
no,
that.
literally no
You're all
problem at all.
good.
Honestly, a great way of just
Gross.
getting comfortable on camera is
Thank you.
just having technical fuck ups and just laughing about it, which is incredible. But so yes, to anybody watching this, welcome back. Always happy to see people. Before we
How
get
long
in,
have we been live?
oh yeah, no, we've been live for like the last like 8 minutes.
Hello, one viewer.
You're oh no.
Gab's
You're
gonna.
fine.
Well, it's,
I'm gonna come to your house and murder you.
you know, honestly, I'd love to see a rate my setup review, and it's just Gab's bed and a phone charger.
Literally, let me show you. My phone charger, which barely fits on here. My laptop to hold this on. Not
Don't
even mine, it's my
dox
work.
yourself, Gab.
My bed.
Yeah, don't
Okay?
dox yourself. Make sure the blinds are closed. There we
They
go.
are.
Excellent.
They are.
No one's watching.
If you all want my entire tour of nothing, like that's totally fine. Let me know.
Well,
Would love a post-stream house tour.
Yeah.
could you fucking imagine? It's like, oh, guys, like YouTuber house tour. Here's my bed. Here's my toilet. That's the end of the house tour.
And special feature, my phone charger.
Wait.
But before we get into it, before we actually hop into like playing the game that this stream is about, we have more stuff to go over. There's actually going to be a new mechanic added to this game, just kind of out of nowhere. And is it a good idea? I have no idea, but we're certainly going to find out together. If you'd please look over to the player boxes where everyone's cameras are right now, you'll notice that like a lot of crazy stuff. So it happened before we started recording these games. It's been happening while we've been playing these, while we've been streaming and recording them, all that awesome stuff. And like, you know, for example, we have Cowrie with the purple bag of holding and the bagman. We have her with the love potion. We have Olive with the dust of deliciousness in that little like mug. We have Yorda with the porthole. We have Arthur with his wonderful little teacup. And we have Ryan with the dust of deliciousness. The new mechanic of this game, when you guys roll nat 20s that fuck with my stuff, these little tokens will be made to commemorate them. So as the stream goes on, as the recordings go on, we will have active visual reminders of all the insanity that has taken place.
That's so cute. Oh my god.
I can send the copies of them into our personal Discord if you guys
Please.
And of course, before we
You
go any further,
conspire.
before I say anything else, we have to all give a round of applause to Moss, who has custom made all these little adorable little sprites for us. I was actually privileged enough to watch his creative process, and it was one of the most relaxing and insightful experiences into digital art I've ever seen. Would highly recommend, if you have the opportunity to watch that, do it. I don't know how you get that opportunity, but do it anyway. And it was awesome.
I'm like quiet.
So, well, hey, very relaxing. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, Moss. We deeply appreciate that. Thank
This
you.
is so cute.
I love
Oh my
it.
goodness.
And before anything, and there's like a lot of detail on these, which I absolutely love, which is like kind of hard to see. But the one thing that I am going to mention right now is like, Drew, your box is kind of naked. What about like stuff like what is that? And I'm like, well, I can't fuck with my own plans more than I already do just by improvising all the time. And so that's when I kind of had the idea, and kind of like Moss and I worked on this together. That, okay, not like stuff that I do. When you guys, like when you have crazy ideas, roll nat 20s, fuck with my stuff, you get these little tokens. When you guys roll nat 20s and fuck with my stuff, that just becomes new story beats and becomes new objectives. Well, then I get tokens to commemorate that as well, which is why the token next to my name and my little box is a stack of bacon.
I knew it. Yes.
That's so cute.
Oh, it's so good.
We absolutely
Oh
love
my
it.
God.
And so I'm hoping
dare
as
you.
this campaign goes on, this like blue ocean will just be filled up with nonsense. I don't
love
want
that.
to see any more ocean. I just want crazy stuff. Now, you're like, how would this shake up the game? Is this going to encourage you guys to do the most absurd things every single time? Yes. Am I actively encouraging this? Yes. And so I'm very excited for that.
Oh,
How-
it's awesome.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
I love it.
wait.
It's so cute.
Wait, before we move on, everyone smile with their little tokens. I want to take a little screenshot for later. Everyone smile.
Oh, no.
Okay, hold on.
Oh.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Shit. Hold it. Okay, you're good.
I will never smile again this stream. Awesome. That took all my energy.
So relax.
I know.
We'll send that in our Discord so we have.
Like a mom trying to get their kid to smile at Disneyland. You're having fun. You're having
You're
fun.
having fun. Smile. Real smiles.
But with all of that, once again, thank you. Cannot express appreciation enough. Any other announcements need to be made before we hop in and start playing D&D tonight? Anything else?
Nope.
No. Everyone's good.
Nope.
Everyone's cool. Then, as always, please join me for a deep and cleansing breath as we hop right back into where we were before. Sound good?
Yeah.
Everybody with me, please. Oh, we love the full body experience, Gab. We love that. And everything after the breath is canon. And we can begin. Hopefully the music can be heard. Excellent. And now we can just start vibing and having a good time. Or perhaps a stressful time, depending on exactly where you fall, exactly what you think is going to happen in this conversation, as we pick up right where we left off with Maury Rack, the head of Live and Lean, sitting at a table inside of the newly refurbished Triple S Tavern. She walked in, her name being Dr. Maury Rack, Doctor of Architecture, MR PhD, a sequence of letters having been seen multiple times by Rochi, and now having an MR PhD, seemingly friendly, sitting right across from them at a table. A lot of balls in the air. Questions, threats, violence. However, Maury Rack walks softly and carries a big stick, that big stick being Netlocks. The 10-ton, 20-foot-tall robot currently right outside of the Triple S Tavern. Everybody here understands that if Maury is threatened or harmed, Netlocks may not kill you. You guys may be able to flee, but Netlocks will destroy the building trying to stop you. However, perhaps combat is not the avenue in which you guys will take, as just before we ended last time, Maury Rack took a hearty and long swig from a glass of ale poured by Olive, sprinkled with the dust of deliciousness, making her vulnerable to anything requiring a wisdom saving throw.
Or check.
Or check, indeed. So then we then come back to this table, and after she... well, that was delicious. The floor is yours. Where do we go from here? As the apelings and construction people moving around you kind of finish up their work in the most effective way possible. Olive, as you kind of look around, this place looks immaculate. And when I say immaculate, I don't mean like clean. I mean, imagine having a dirty car and then buying a new car just to replace it. It is not only clean and polished, it is untouched. That is the quality we were looking at. And they kind of all... Netlocks being at the door, they all jump. As they're jumping out of the windows, you see the final two things to come on are two apelings carrying plate glass windows that do a flip and then just cinch the windows into place as they're leaving, and then they scurry off along with Foreman, who says, "All right, boss, I'm going back to our bus. You just meet us there when you need to." And then Foreman kind of and just wanders off, goes underneath the legs of Netlocks, and is gone.
If I may just catch Foreman before he goes.
Oh, not a problem.
Just shake his hand and say, "Thank you so much. Really, you've done wonderful work with this place. Thank you. If there's any way I can repay you, please let me know."
Looks at you and goes, "Oh no. If anything, it's on the boss lady's dime. So I'm not owed anything. Hey, just pour the drink strong next time I come in here, okay?"
Of course, I can for sure promise that. Please take care of yourself.
Okay, awesome, not a problem. And then you see he kind of like, and just kind of like knuckle over knuckle kind of leaves the establishment.
Is there anyone else in the tavern besides us?
No. So currently the only there are three other people. Duke LaCroix and Cutter Jack are here, and they're like at the newly constructed bar, just kind of like the Duke kind of pouring himself like a tall glass of wine. Cutter Jack having like an overflowing almost like glass bottle of like ale, and they're just kind of like swapping stories, pirate to pirate. They're kind of entranced by each other. With off in the corner, just story wise, don't jump to any conclusions here. And then in the corner in the back, just like scribbling into a leather-backed, like a leather-spined journal, you guys see Joe Jabber, who seemingly just never left the establishment after this place was put together.
Amazing. Then, but there's no other like patrons.
No,
here?
it seems like when the construction force came in, most of the civilian people were cleared out as the construction is finishing up.
Then what I will do is once Foreman leaves, I will put like a sign up front that says like we'll be right back, and I will lock up for a bit.
Maury sees you doing this, and as you are like you have like a closed gone fishing sign. You kind of like throw some chains. You like draw the shades of the windows as Maury comes in and is like, "Oh, would you like some help locking up? I can ensure complete privacy."
Sure, that would be wonderful. It doesn't have to be much. Just wanted to give us the privacy to have a conversation since you know so much about us.
Of course, and I would hate to do anything that would be overkill. Netlocks, Triple S Tavern, designation under construction. Activate protocol. Bouncer. As you just hear, understood. Netlocks completely turns around and kneels down into the sand. Sand splattering everywhere. And as you are closing the door to the tavern, you see Netlocks' massive feet press up against the door gently and completely block any entry through the doorway. As Maury Rack goes, "Oh, and I'd hate to be forgetful. I'm so sorry. Netlocks. Exceptions include Terraborg, Jasper, Pearl, Coral, Feldspar." As Netlocks goes, "Understood. Triple S Tavern under construction. No patrons allowed." And then just motionlessly, as you are closing up the doors, just kneels there motionlessly.
All right. Well, thank you, Netlocks.
No response.
Thank you, Dr. Rack. Please, have a seat. Can I get you something else to drink, something to eat?
You kind of watch as like Maury's pupils begin to dilate a bit as she kind of like sways back and forth a little bit more than you'd expect from one cup of ale. She goes, "Honestly, I think this is completely fine. No wonder you're so popular. The Terraborgs brew their ale in the strongest way imaginable."
Well, thank you. I can't take all the credit. It's my parents that started this, but I'll let them know you said that. That is a glowing review.
Of course. Absolutely delicious. But where were we? Maury goes and takes her seat back at the table.
I pull out her chair for her to sit.
She goes, "Well, thank you. You're so incredibly polite. Thank you so much." And she, you see she, like with her, like ape-ling hand feet kind of like clambers up onto the chair and kind of like sits down as you kind of like just push her in. She's very lightweight. She, again, definitely just to give a brief description, definitely the oldest in the room, about 40 years old, maybe 45, maybe early 50s, but maybe only weighing like 140 pounds, like very thin, 5'6", not very physically imposing at all.
As I push her in, just of course. It's not that often we get the head roll here at the Triple S Tavern. And I take a seat at the table.
Excellent. As you take a seat at the table, everybody here give me an investigation check after like Olive and Maury kind of close everything up.
Gab, I will roll for you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't do either of us good.
I have a
I'm
plus
gonna
one.
flip my coin because I
Same.
rolled a natural one.
Okay.
I got an 18.
18?
Okay, that's
Um,
better.
Her got a 4, and Olive got a 6.
Okay.
I got a 19.
Cowrie and Rhyme. Cowrie, you. So I'm gonna do this in ascending order. Cowrie, you realize something after seeing, like, after the brawl at the top of Emmons Tower, after watching how Netlox acts in, like, an autonomous state. Because, as Yorda discovered, Netlox did not have an operator when it was fighting you guys at the top of Emmons Tower. Because of that, you would assume, Cowrie, oh, this big guy is like a dumb fighter, and dumb fighters can only really take on little commands. They can't think too hard. They need to be told to do simple things. Like you know, you can probably assume what that is. You immediately clock that. Rhyme, you clock that as well. But you realize something about that. I'll actually say, like, both of you kind of clock this because, like, Cowrie, you have, like, certain spells at your disposal. That it seems that in order for Netlox to have autonomous protocols activate, Mori has to tell Netlox to do it. Verbally. Physically,
So,
verbally.
Like something like a silent spell.
So if you could stop her from talking, that might be able to buy you some time so that Netlox couldn't switch protocols. Make sense?
And additional question about
Yes.
that. Do I get the sense that if we could imitate her appearance or her voice, would Netlock follow those orders?
I'll say on an 18, that's a good idea. It would be so you don't get the sense that'd be an immediate no. It seems
Okay.
like it seems like that would be more of a roll of the dice, literally and metaphorically. But that's not like if your back's against the wall, that wouldn't be a terrible idea.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. With that, as Mori sits there, does anybody want to say anything, or should Mori begin talking?
When
Oh,
When
yeah.
when do you want me to do my the deal we struck?
Oh, right. Nika and I made a bit of a deal with the devil. Yorda is currently very low on magical energy. Yorda has been taxed for the last day almost constantly. But he's got a little bit left in the tank. He's got a little bit more he can do. And we've made a deal, because, you know, rulebook optional, that he is allowed to cast a Zone of Truth spell at first level. A level lower than what it should be. Would you like to do this now?
Does this seem like the best time? Let me
How
look at
long does it last?
I was about to check. I think it lasts an hour.
An hour?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay, I won't be here for that long.
I'm gonna be fair and say that, like, this conversation probably will take place in about 10 minutes. Like I will allow you to, if this works, I'm not going to fuck you based on the time. That makes sense?
Okay. Yes.
Excellent. So I believe what I said, Nard, if someone wants to get the exact words up, it's a DC 14 stealth check, first of all, correct?
Hold on.
But he's completely hidden. So does he have advantage?
Drew, your
Can
words
we,
were.
can we help him by talking and, you know, distracting her as he's-
Drew, you are correct. DC 14 stealth check.
Okay. If someone would like to say something to Mori Rack to help disguise
Yeah.
Yorda's whole thing, you can do that.
Yeah, I'll help. I'll
Excellent.
help with that.
What do you say to Mori?
I would like to just drop a glass on the ground
Okay.
and just like be like, "Oh my gosh, so sorry," and then like maybe scatter it around so it just kind of brings all the attention. Rhyme do something on top of it.
Okay. Rhyme is just going to crack his knuckles, set his shoulder back into socket after he dislocated it, jumping 60 feet down. Alrighty. So, I suppose you have business with us?
Well, business is an interesting word. Ah! Jumps at the glass, shattering.
Oh, I'm so sorry, and I start like cleaning it up.
Mori goes.
That's totally my fault. I'm a klutz. So sorry.
Mori looks at you and goes, "Absolutely fascinating." And she pulls out like a little like journal on herself and just quickly goes, Do you oftentimes have muscular spasms that interfere with your motor skills?
Excuse me?
Okay. Yorda, go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage for me.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Okay.
Oh.
You're behind the bar.
Thanks for the advantage. I would not have worked otherwise.
Do we also have to roll for Zone of Truth?
If you
I think you can choose to fail.
you can choose to fail. If you want to resist to be able to lie, you do have to roll the save.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's a 15-foot radius, so probably everybody, right?
Yes, I'm gonna say that this emanates from the bar and kind of encapsulates everybody.
What?
I'm also gonna opt in to roll because I don't really trust MRPHD, if that makes sense.
Excellent.
Is it it's a wisdom save?
It's a charisma save.
Ooh, this is the party for that.
This is the party for that.
And what is the DC?
It is a DC 15.
Okay.
Got a natural 20.
I got a 19 plus 7 for a 20.
Oh shit. Her, do you want me to roll for you?
Yeah, I have a +8.
+8.
Ooh.
I'm gonna flip the coin for her. Because I was a 2.
Actually, I don't know. It might be +7 because it says
what
+7,
is it?
but then it says
+7. You're good. Her got an 18. You're good.
Okay. I just got a nat 20 on my first roll for
Yeah, we're good.
Maury.
Ooh.
What was it?
Disadvantage.
What was the save again? Yeah, it's a disadvantage. What was the save?
15.
15. Okay. Has to
Come
be
on,
a
baby.
10 or lower.
Oh, and Yorda knows who's passed and who's failed, right?
Yeah, you already will know.
Yorda, as you cast this magical energy out, you're behind the bar and you're breathing slowly in, slowly out, so that not even the whiskers around your nose are moving. And you can feel sweat beginning to form, like, around your luxurious mane, as you realize, like, I'm not gonna say you're stressed or, like, afraid of death or whatever, but just you're like, you have to be stiller and more quiet than you've ever been in your entire life. And as you are so still, you watch as your gauntlets, the palms on them, they go, and they just slowly begin to glow, and this light blue aura begins to wisp out from you, and imperceptible to anybody but you. You kind of look through like a slit in the bar, like a small little like millimeter wide, like a centimeter wide gap between two planks, and you watch as it and just encircles all of your friends. Don't fucking do that. I'm in the middle of my thing. We'll talk about that later. Yorda, you get the sense of your friends, who, again, not necessarily detrimenting them, but you watch as, I believe, they're all encapsulated. You watch as the 4 fingers on your gauntlets light up red. All of your friends have passed the save.
I actually would like to choose to fail.
You watch as the thumb of your gauntlet goes blue. Olive has chosen to fail. You watch as the middle finger of your gauntlets goes blue. Morirak has failed the save.
Okay. And to play by the rules a little bit,
Okay.
it does state in the spell that an affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. So it can
What
either
a
choose
shitty
not to
spell.
it can choose not to answer, or it can like play around the truth.
Fascinating. Give me
But it
because you
does. So yeah, I don't know.
No, you're totally cool. Okay, I just rolled an Arcana check for Mori and got a nat 1. Mori has no clue because you were casting the spell at a lower level than usual. You were casting it from stealth. There is no, like, if Mori realizes that she can't lie, she'll put it together, but right now she is not aware of that. So you're not blown. Make sense?
Sounds good.
Perfect. With that, you all feel this magical aura pass over you. You realize that Yorda just cast this spell. would you want Mori to talk, or would you have things that you want to ask her first?
I would like to ask her a question,
Perfect.
if it's all right with the rest of the group.
Not a problem.
Yeah, just everything's hunky dory. Nothing's happened at all. We're just having a conversation. But I will just turn to her, following off of what Rhyme said. You mentioned you heard of us or knew of our fight at the food chain in the well?
But of course, yes. I only mentioned that a few minutes ago.
Yeah, yes, of course. I just it's been quite a day, I'll be honest with you. But I was wondering if you knew about that, if you knew of the bounty on us shortly after.
Well, she looks at all of you and goes, well, of course there'd be a bounty on you. You're all so very important. Could you imagine there not being a bounty on you?
Well, that's another thing to be asked. We've seen a bounty on us, asking us to stay and learn the importance of one another. Forgive me if it's obvious, but I don't think we understand. We haven't known each other that long, and yes, we all have abilities, but none more special than anyone else in the city.
That is fascinating. Who else believes you're important? You can't lie.
I know I can't, but who else knows we're important?
Me.
Dior said it.
You can also just state anybody else besides. I'll let you play the game.
Well, Ophia we also does. That's why she tried to carry out the bounty at the food chain at the bottom of the feast temple.
Fascinating. I thought she knew nothing of prophecy, but... well, I seem to be mistaken. She seems to be more insightful than I thought.
Prophecy?
You see, like, the dust is kind of picking up. Like Maury's getting, like, a little bit more outside of herself than she normally would be. And I also say, like, if you want this to, like, be less, like, clinical, Cowrie, at any point, of course, you are a bard. If at any point you want to do, like, any kind of charm stuff, just let me know. No rush on that. I'm just, like... I know how some classes of this game are played, so... Mori looks and goes, well, I mean... I really... I can't say that much. It is a closely guarded secret, of course. But you're all very important.
Yes, we're all very good at keeping secrets, aren't we?
Give me a persuasion check.
With pleasure.
That's a coin flip.
Yep, I should take 2 coins out, one for myself, one for Gav. Dirty 20.
She looks and she goes, well, I figure with what's bound to happen to you all, I think it's important that you understand at least a bit about what the information we're dealing with. You've been so kind to me, and I'm not one to get attached usually. And maybe it's hearsay, but there are stories. I mean, you've probably heard most of them from tavern goers, pirates alike, singing their wonderful shanties. But many people talk about stories of old. Stories involving great warriors and weapons. But I can't say much more than that.
I guess the main question is, are we individuals or are we product for you?
She looks at you, intrigued, and goes, "As a spellbreaker yourself, you should understand that slavery has been outlawed within the Palm since its induction almost 500 years ago."
Can I do an insight check on her?
You may certainly do that, yes.
Damn, that's my third 19 of the night. Hang
Holy
on. That's 22.
What is happening? What is going on tonight?
It's good days. It's my good days.
Maury just avoided the question.
So yes. I don't say that out loud. That was Moss confirming. You see, the thing with being a spellbreaker is you spend a very long time learning the difference between tyranny and responsibility. Do you know the difference?
I would imagine so, but I guess certain situations require certain approaches, wouldn't you say? Perhaps tyranny to one would be responsibility to another. Checks and balances, if you will.
Can I do an investigation check or something like that to see if, like, the windows have been blocked off, or if, like, our exits are being scoped out by people, or, like, something like that?
Oh, sure, no problem at all. Go ahead.
Investigation, that's a dirty 20.
As you just kind of glance to the windows, glance to the door, the shades have been drawn, the doors have been locked up, and Netlocks is outside, but you are able to hear with that, like, you know, just kind of paying attention, you're able to hear and you like hear Netlocks like move in some kind of way and go, "No entry allowed. Triple S Tavern under construction." As you hear, and just like rattling of potential customers kind of move away. It seems that Netlocks is keeping people away, and you haven't seen any shadows moving. Like, the door's already blocked off completely, but it seems that Netlocks is following the protocol of keep everyone except for the Terraborgs out of this building. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get the sense of, you get the sense of like ultimate privacy, private room, but you don't get the sense of like, oh, this is a trap. Make sense?
Okay. Alrighty. I mean, you're a very smart woman.
Well, thank you. You are muted.
I would like to at this point. Unless anyone thinks it's a really bad idea. I want to use enthralling performance to try and charm her as well, which is a DC 15 saving throw.
Which wisdom, right?
Yes.
Of which she has disadvantage.
Yep. Incredible charisma caster chaining abilities right now with disadvantage.
Go for it, buddy.
Okay. As you strum your lute, as you attempt to charm, do you say anything, or is it just simply the music kind of emanating out from you?
I'm playing the Dame Slayer, and as I cast it, I say to her, "You know, I love a good story. I'd really love to hear a little bit more about these prophecies."
As you're playing your music, you see she goes as she kind of gets up from her chair and kind of like approaches you, just slowly, not like too creepily. Like she walks over,
Just touches me in the face.
Why I oughta?
and goes, "Oh, that music is absolutely beautiful." And like now she's like she looks like tired. She looks like she's kind of like weebling back and forth a little bit. Your charm passed.
This woman has never tried any drug that is more potent than the combination of us.
She looks and goes, "I have to be honest. I did not expect to like you all that much, and I do have some questions to ask. But honestly, it's so hypothetical that I might as well clue you into what I'm working with. There are ancient texts. Some that have, and they vary by language, they vary of where you find them, but some are clawed into wood by beak and by claw. Some are carved into slabs of sea stone, seemingly by tempered waves. Some are blasted into sand by lightning bolts with indecipherable words coating the glass which has now formed. And some are screamed from the mouths of warriors before their hearts explode. But with all of them, there are certain consistencies, and it's been very difficult to find any kind of historical evidence of it in a land which does not have standardized education. But taking that into consideration, there are always two consistencies. And now she's like, she comes over and she like leans on the bar, and like the ale in her mug kind of like splashes onto you a little bit as she kind of like tips it a little bit too far over as she goes, there are always weapons of unimaginable power, and repeated over and over and over again, there is the number 6. It's constant, it's everywhere, and whatever we can decipher, it's always there. Now, as she and give me an insight check, everybody.
I fill Maury's drink as she's kind of like sloshing it about.
Olive, let me tell you something. I'm so
17.
she looks at you and she's like, I'm so sorry for what's going to happen to you, because you seem very kind. I apologize.
Oh, it's I'm sure that there will be water under the bridge. But you know, if any insight you can give us will be much appreciated.
All right, excellent. Insight checks. What did everybody get?
11.
17.
Olive got an 11.
Carrie, what'd you get?
And I had +6.
Yeah, her got a 16.
16.
16.
16.
I got an 11.
11. Okay. Cowrie, you're kind of pissed because you just got ale on some of your trinkets.
Sticky.
I'm sticky and shiny now.
Her, Yorda, and Rhyme, you see almost like a bit of it's a flash of almost disdain, just for a second, coming as her eyebrows kind of clench and her mouth kind of moves to the side as she goes, now, Captain Egan Taurus would have you believe that because ancient dragons, ancient Sarah angels, and Balers from the 6th level of hell, oh, it's also pretty, it's also higgledy-piggledy, it's also incredibly neat, but I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think the head rolls of the Arbor are the 6 prophesized in these texts, because I'm one of the head rolls. Hell, I killed one of the head rolls 20 years ago, and here I am now. I don't feel all that special. Do I look all that special?
Well, we think you do, but what does that count for anything?
Whether or not you're special is really a choice you have to make.
But I'm just an apeling woman. I just blend into the crowd of all of the apelings that move around this place. But I'm all over this place. I'm all over this place trying to find any idea about any information concerning these weapons or who these prophesized 6 must be. And I mean, we already know the location of one of the weapons, but we have 5 more that we need to find, and they could be anywhere. It could be Balar Fortress. It's old enough, but no one can get inside. It might be in the mop, but Lord God knows that'll kill you immediately. And it could be Tangleroot's certainly old enough, but the smell alone, I couldn't even stand it. I'm so sorry. I'm just rambling on about certain academic...
Please.
Sometimes you gotta get it out, you know?
It's just very difficult because I have to wear so many faces so constantly, and I just feel like I've hit a brick wall in my research, and I just feel so terrible.
Why do you think why do you think this has anything to do with us?
Well,
or them?
Well, it seems that fun must end eventually. It's back to work with me. She pulls out her little leather notebook, and she goes, well, it seems that we're all getting extremely comfortable here, so I might as well get the official work out of the way. I have a question for the group. Everyone listening.
Do you want to sit down?
Here you kind
Yes, I
of
would
swaying.
happily
I
sit.
bring her over a bucket just in case she like has to puke or something.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Excellent. You bring over a chair, and she gets into the chair with her legs over the back, so her head is hanging upside down. As she goes, So, have any of you been the focus of any coordinated attacks from demons, devils, or infernal beings, particularly with those that are against nature or the natural plane of things?
No.
I mean, like, you have to be a little bit more specific here, you know?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I just want to get these out of the way. And she just writes no in the book. She goes, all right, question number 2. Have any of you been experiencing visions of deceased individuals or odd, sudden, unintended magical effects?
Definitely
I
not.
mean, magic just comes, like, yeah, I can't say if we have, you know?
Just the normal amount of magic
You know.
expected as intended.
Which, granted, is a lot when you live in Pirate City, but...
It's true, there's magic users everywhere around here. All right. Big fat no goes into her book. And have any of you been exceptionally calm recently, particularly regarding issues of philosophy, specifically death and or disregard of personal safety?
No idea what you're talking about.
That one's a little bit more subjective, I think. That's an interesting question.
Rhyme just, like, quietly sits on his one hand that has just, like, like the finger he popped back into sock. He's like, yeah, nah.
Admittedly, I will
mean-
say, these questions could have used some work. They're incredibly vague, but there's only 2 more. There's 2, and we can do, there's 6 of you and 2, so we can get through these, okay? All right, excellent, perfect.
All right, yes, very
We
well.
continue on. Have any of you had unexpected success persuading people or beings that are unable to communicate with the common tongue?
Man, wouldn't that be great? You know?
That
There
would be
was a
cool.
time when I met a guy who spoke out of tour and I didn't know it yet, and that was kind of tricky.
Okay. I didn't get a very strong yes or no from anybody here.
Say no. No.
I don't think so.
He opens the book. Strong, possibly. No. It's just for the research, it's fine. And have any of you experienced sudden, unexpected surges of magical energy, particularly those of the electrical variety?
No.
Never.
Hard
Never
say
heard
that
of
we
that.
We're almost made of rubber, how not electrical we are.
I did fight a guy who was made out of electricity. I can't remember his name now, but
You fought a man. Oh, yes, the bracelet combat, of course, yes.
Yep.
Oh, well, okay. What is the rules of Zone of Truth? Oh, yeah, wait, you guys pass, you can lie, right? Because I was like, this is fucking stretching it. Because all of you just said nothing, and I'm like, excellent job, wonderful. Perfect. It was excellent. Everybody here give me an investigation check.
I had a.
Yeah, I
plus
got you.
one.
I have your character sheet up. Don't worry.
Oh, thanks. Oh,
Of
I
course.
printed this out for nothing. Okay. I'm so sad I didn't pack my dice. So sorry.
Cool.
You're all good. Her got a. You said investigation.
Yep.
Her got a 14.
14.
Olive got an 18.
18, Olive, okay. Everybody else, you got a 10?
15.
15, excellent. Olive,
Mm.
you pick up on this.
Mm-hmm.
The number, so like already the number 6 is significant in some way.
Mhm.
Maury only asked you 5 questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can kind of put together that these are leading questions relating to certain experiences you all have had, or individually have had.
Mm-hmm.
But only 5 were asked.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Ajax, that lying rat.
HA no snitch.
Yes. Hold on. Sorry. 5. To that, I will just like lean towards Maury and say, "Well, you've been emphasizing the number 6. Are you leaving? You asked 5. Are you leaving one out?"
She slowly blinks and looks over at you, Olive, and makes dead eye contact with you. And it's not threatening, and it's not imposing, and it's not trying to... It's not trying to communicate anything more than her just simply answering with one word, that being, no.
All right. Very well. No problem.
I mean, like, what's the end goal of this when you find these people, or if they even exist? You know,
If they even exist, that's a big if, but, you know, what do people always want? They just want power, and they want land, and they want control of the silly little waves that blow in certain directions. It's all over the place, you know? Yeah.
Of course. Well, apologies if we couldn't be much help for your research. I know how hard you work.
She just kind of nods.
If I may ask, well, no, it's not more of a question. Just you know, we've been so open with each other. I just want to be open with you. You asked when you were talking about when you got here, about the destruction of Emmons Tower, or the purpose, what could have possibly happened to the tavern. Well, since we're friends, aren't we, Doctor?
Very nearly.
I like that one, and points over to Cowrie.
Hey, I like you too.
What is Olive's face when she says this?
Give me a persuasion check with advantage as you say that. Cowrie.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Persuasion with advantage.
Persuasion with advantage.
28.
28.
Yes.
She looks at you as she kind of like, she swings her body off of the chair, and she gets up, and she just looks at you, and you're able to just see there's just a single tear begins to fall down her cheek as she goes, I feel like you really get me.
Oh, I wipe the tear off her face and I say, don't cry. It's all right.
It's because it's just so hard. All I want to do is just stay inside the site and just poke things with electric needles, and I just can't do that. And
The site?
you've just been so kind. Everybody knows of the site, yes. Cowrie and Olive, make a history check with advantage for me.
With pleasure. The
It's
site, she said?
Yep, the site.
History?
14.
14?
Let me flip my coin back. Thank God I have advantage.
DC's not that high.
I know, but I got a nat 1.
Okay.
Oh.
No, you're shitting me. Okay, I thought I got 2 nat 1s again. No, it was a 7. 11 total.
11 total. DC was only 10 because you both have been here for so long. Olive and Cowrie, you both know that like each district kind of has its center point. There's the Temple of Aphrodite for Kipyup. There's the Metal Box for Holstuff. There's the Pillars in Ubhav. There is the Symbol Palace in Simbleton. There's the Vault in Capshore. And for Livenleen, the center of Livenleen is known as the Site. The Site is a massive, several hundred, I think 200-yard diameter iron dome in the center of Livenleen, where only Morirak and Netlocks are allowed to traverse in and out of. It's some kind of private developmental sector, presumably having with what you guys have to assume is like, oh, they clearly are like working with fire, like experimental fire technology that can't be experimented with in a public space for obvious reasons. So like her saying that's not like a weird thing to you. You know what that is.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yes, of course. And I'm sure Netlocks will get to the back there safely once we've wrapped things up here. But I did want to let you know that it was Emin the Walking who enacted the arson of the Triple S Tavern, and it was us who tracked him down, killed him, and toppled his tower.
Emin burned down the tower?
Yes, he's well, not personally, of course he sent some of his cronies out to enact it.
Emin is always doing, of course. Well, he's dead now.
Yes, well, he's not doing anything anymore, is he?
But the rest of that I already knew.
Well, yes, I suspected you knew because once Emin was dead, Netlocks showed up.
Yes, I could not personally join Netlocks as I was in the towing and froing in Toabas, but hey, as she reaches into a bag, she actually, she reaches like to her neck and pulls off a pair of like welding goggles, and she goes, "Oh, Olive, come here. I want to show you something." And she puts the goggles on your face, as they're cinched incredibly tight against your like well-fed, like your well-fed cheeks. And as you look through, give me a quick Constitution save. Not that hard.
Okay. Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
14.
14? Enough.
Okay.
As the goggles, as they attach onto your eyes, you almost feel your stomach like drop a little bit as this is a sensation that your brain hasn't really touched upon before. As you get your body is still the same. You're still in the room, but you get the sense that you have grown massively and are now looking down. As you start looking through these goggles, you're not seeing the tavern around you. It is a grainy black and white image with like little lines kind of rolling up and down the image as you're looking through. And as you're looking through these goggles, you are able to see just a tad, like as you move your head around, the eyes do not move with you. The eyes stay stagnant. But you're able to see metal hands. And as you look around to the overall area around these metal hands and what is being seen, you can see one of the streets leading to the Triple S Tavern. And you hear with your ears, you can hear like Netlocks' gears turning, and you watch as the vision, without your head moving, shift. And you see like you're able to see like down the other street now, they had and like looking around and like clocking every single person walking around, like making sure it's like a wide enough distance. You're looking through Netlocks' eyes right now. As Mori goes, I'm incredibly impressed that you can do that, as most people, including myself, threw up the first time they put those on.
Well, to run a tavern, you've got to have a steady hand on things, so...
A strong stomach indeed, yes, and you can pass them around. It certainly is an experience, but yes. But before you do, of course, yes. So an interesting thing, I just was able to get this functional maybe a week or two ago. But if you go to the button, and she goes to the like one of the switches on the top of like the goggles lenses, she goes, and if you flick to this mode, and she flicks one of the switches to the side. And you're able to see suddenly the image changes from just black and white over to, you see blue, significant blue. Buildings in blue. You see the trees are now blue. You see the floor is now blue. But as you look around, those same figures moving in the distance, just like some pedestrians that are being kept away by Netlocks, you're able to see those pedestrians. They glow red in the center, orange outside of the red, and then green outside of the orange. As Mori goes, you are able to see heat signatures given off by people, which is the way that Netlocks was able to see all of you through the roof of Emmons Tower. It is quite inventive, I do say
Yes,
so myself.
This is very well crafted, well made. May I show everyone?
You certainly can, of course.
And I pass them around the table for people to try on.
Excellent.
So then, if you don't mind me asking, why did you have Netlocks there for us? Would you like some water?
Yes, please.
Of course. I'll get that for you right away.
My head doesn't hurt, but everything is numb.
Yes, I apologize. You're probably more used to the watered down versions at the Triple F Tavern. We're a bit more natural here at the Triple S. So, but let me get you a glass of water, and I give her a glass.
Fascinating that you bring that up, because just as your tattooed friend there, Rhyme, right? As you said, the difference between tyranny and responsibility, it's a fine line to walk, correct? How could you possibly walk the streets of Ubhav and go to the Triple F Tavern and look at all of the cages hung up everywhere and not imagine that to be tyranny? And people want to get on their high horse and speak so badly about other places when here they're executing people for thievery. I just don't understand. Do you?
I don't understand either, and I hand her a glass of water.
It is an ass backward. As she keeps talking while she's drinking the water.
Yes, it did.
The goggles are being passed around, by the way.
Yeah.
Who now has the goggles on?
We can say I handed them to Cowrie first.
Excellent.
I'll try one.
Excellent. As you try them on. And by the way, before we, you're able to see through Netlocks' eyes. If you want to give me a quick, just DC 10 con save.
Yeah. We're
Excellent. You do not throw up.
Yay. I pass him to Rhyme.
Over to Rhyme. DC 10 con save. As Maury keeps talking, Maury goes, and before we hop off of Netlocks, because I'm very proud of Netlocks. Netlocks is fucking amazing.
Okay.
I love it. You oh, you seem to have vomited.
Cool.
It can be very disorienting. I understand the change in perspective. Now, but imagine sitting in a tavern. Yes, Leo, what's up? Yes, Gab? Oh, Gab's lagging out.
Oh, there she goes.
Oh, wow, Death's there. Oh, there she goes.
Is this better if I just have my video off?
Potentially.
Yeah, maybe I'll just do this.
Never mind. Never mind. You're getting sucked through a vacuum. As we wait for Gab to reload in,
Can you hear me?
Only kind of. In a way that's horrifying.
In a
Sounds
way
like
of
you're talking through a giant fan.
in a way of actually implementing that into the story, Rhyme, you have the goggles on, correct?
Yes.
As you have the goggles on.
Oh, there she goes.
Excellent.
She's gone.
Nico, you're playing for two. Let's switch that back up. Rhyme, as you have those goggles on, you are actually able to hear, all of you are able to hear this from outside, Rhyme as well. Rhyme, a person actually walks up and goes, "Are you bucket of bolts gonna let me in to get my drink on?" And you are actually, Netlocks usually would say audible words, but Netlocks just says, and just begins garbled language of like electronic beeping and screeches. As Maury goes, "Oh, Netlocks, we need to get you a new processor. Oh, God. Oh, Lord." And just like starts kind of rubbing her face and temples and goes, "Looks, Netlocks' autonomous capacity is only operating at 21%, meaning that he is far less effective than what he was when I became head role 20 years ago. You should have seen us then. We were glorious. But no matter, I will get another processor soon. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. But
Of course, that's very easy for a woman of your stature to achieve.
looks over to you and goes like, "You would be surprised. You would be surprised."
Really? How's that?
don't let us keep you if you've got like work to do. You know,
Well,
it's like a VR headset.
yes. Yes, yes.
Dr. Rack, how's that? I imagine the head rolls wouldn't have any trouble getting what they need.
Oh, certain components are so difficult to get your hands on nowadays. Trade tariffs and things like that, and certain banned substances. But we shall find it eventually.
What are you looking for? Maybe, just like how you said, like, you blend in with the other apelings here. We can perhaps blend in even more here and help you out if you have stuff you need to get.
What I require is far away and is being extracted from a very difficult place, but I shall soon have it, and it's going to be alright. It reminds me of a story, actually, but I don't want to bore you down. I can always get back to it.
No, not at all. We are very much in.
Yeah,
We are enjoying your company.
A story before you head out.
We love stories.
We are enjoying your company.
She goes, alright, everybody, gather around. I am going to tell you a tale of how I became head roll. As
I
she,
pass the goggles to somebody else.
her, can you give me, Kate, please roll a,
Can I not put them on?
Oh, yes, you cannot put them on. You just saw Rhyme throw
I'm just gonna
up.
put them right next.
I pass them behind the bar to Yorda. Can I try and do it very stealthily?
Yeah. I mean, I would say you can, do it with advantage, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make a move to get it. So if it lands in my lap, then cool. But
Oh yeah, sleight of hand, freaking 23.
It's just like an incredible like Ocean's 11 dance where Rhyme like tosses them over to her slides them on the bar, and then Cowrie, you just kind of like knock them off with the Dame Slayer as you're like playing your tunes, and Yorda, they just land right into your hands.
I rolled a 19. Constant,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so you're able to kind of like, you just go, cool.
Is it in the heat signature mode still? or no?
Yes, and you can kind of like flip through it if you want.
Oh,
Can it see me?
No, because Netlox is looking outside right now.
Okay.
Okay.
I just imagine these are like, when like the late summer and like you still have your old goggles from last year,
Yes.
but you've grown a lot because you're a big kid now,
Yeah.
and they're just real tight on your head.
Like again, these are probably goggles 1. These are probably the first goggles. So,
Goggles V1.
Mark 1 goggles.
Alpha.
Looks over and he goes like, all right, everybody, we're going to talk about the creation of Netlocks as well. I have not told this story in so long because no one really wants to fucking hear it because no one in this town cares about smart things, but whatever, I'm pretty smart and I like talking about things, so we're going to talk.
We love hearing you talk.
Phenomenal. Netlocks is my own construction, and I love Netlocks. Netlocks is wonderful. Netlocks has saved my life so many times. Buildings, no problem. Just taking buildings like nothing. And the recorder, if I'm doing tests on things, he can watch me do it. She takes out 4 from like a little satchel on her side. Takes out 4 golden crystals and places them in a circle, like on the table, like around all of you. And you watch it. She goes, and they begin rotating. And as they begin rotating, you guys are able to see. Within this golden holographic light, everything being golden, you're able to see a hand. You're able to see, looking down at a tiny Yorda on the table, a giant hand grab onto Yorda and chuck him away as Yorda disappears. And goes, and I can record things, which is so incredibly entertaining to watch, and I can analyze certain things as necessary. All right, I'm going to sober up a bit. All right.
I hand her another glass of water.
Perfect. Wonderful. Netlox is wonderful. I wanted to create an automaton. I took inspiration from those within Golden Steam, and I wanted the subservience of an automaton with the durability of the Warforged. Now, there was this Fire Genasi woman named Norwin who I've actually been in recent contact with. However, she has sadly had to take a leave of absence due to, as in her words, maintain a necessary familial relationship, whatever that means. But Apparently, she was designing robots of a similar nature within a clandestine operation within the Elven Palace, but they were only ever designed for factory use and never saw widespread implementation. She was happy enough to share the designs with me, though, which I was very grateful for. But Netlocks is a wonderful creation, and I'm so happy that we were able to work as a team to secure my position as head role. This is going to be ancient history to most of you, but just to summarize, of course, unless you don't want to hear about how I became head role, I don't need to speak on it if you do not want to hear.
No, we would love to hear it, please.
I love history.
Can I do an insight check on to like make sure that like she's still under the effects of just our combined efforts?
She certainly is, yes.
Okay.
She's just kind of like, she's going to be more
Not like pretending.
Given I don't want to just play drunk for the next 20 minutes, but she's still being very friendly, very honest, all of that. Make sense?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, so, Netlocks and I ripped apart Obu. Obu was the previous head role of Livenly. Now, you're all too young to have seen this. You were probably suckling at the time, or whatever babies do. But I would assume...
I was 8.
You were 8. At what point do babies stop suckling? I'm not entirely sure.
3 months?
I don't believe I'd be a very good mother then. Or I'd be very, very overbearing. Moving on. So, Obu... Calray, I'm not liking the music. Change it back. No, I got it. We're cool. I got it.
Wait, how many years ago did she say?
20 years ago. So she's been here for a while.
Yeah.
As she goes, Obu was actually the brother of Gilligan. Gilligan being the head role of Whole Stuff, the industrial sector of the Arbor. Now, I'm not one for fighting, but I am one for biology. And I remember that fight like it was yesterday. Now, Obu, of course, chose the terrain, that being Big Belly. He most likely thought it was going to be lucky for him, as the water and all, with Netlocks' immense size, he was probably going to crack masts off ships and strike me like as if it was a club, maybe throw barrels, maybe swing around and try to avoid any kind of attack. He actually managed to crush Netlocks with me inside of Netlocks, between 2 cargo ships, 80 tons each. Yes. But Netlocks may be dense, but Netlocks is dense, if you catch my drift. And with maybe a few more scratches than before, well, we were able to hold out long enough.
That's incredible.
Simply tiring him out. It was mainly us standing still, dodging some of his larger attacks for a while. And once he got tired of swinging, well, sadly he had to get in close, and well, Netlocks isn't fast, but Netlocks has a killer grip. So, I'll spare you the gory details, but 30 feet tall, bearing down on us, we were able to grab onto his hand. That's all we needed. We were able to break it, and then jump into the water, and pull him down right along with us. Now, the madman actually bit his own hand off, ripped it clean off of his body in an attempt to get back to the surface, and I do believe he was able to get one cry out for help, one breath of fresh air before we launched off of the seafloor, grabbed onto his ankle, and then dragged him back down. Now, his mouth couldn't reach that far, so I assume the last Gilligan saw of his brother was...
Did he deserve it?
Oh, I didn't. I quite liked him, but there can only be one head roll, and head rolls are won through single combat.
Do you need to kill the previous head roll to take the title?
You see an unsettling flash of pride on her face as she goes, "No." Needless to say, Gilligan doesn't like me that much, but I'm head roll and his brother isn't, so there's not much he can do about it.
That's quite impressive.
Yes, you should be very proud of yourself.
It was basic engineering, but thank you.
Of course.
Well, that was a lovely story. And, sorry that we aren't what you're looking for. But hopefully you'll find it soon.
The search continues, I guess.
You look a little punch drunk. You should probably sleep this off.
I think I'm going to go back to the site and just rest. I'm going to collect my thoughts. If I have any, you have all been so incredibly kind to me. If I have any further questions, I will certainly let you know. But...
Of course. So sorry. Of course, it is getting late, and I want to make sure you get back safe. But may I ask one last question before you leave?
Oh, all of you have poured me many drinks. You have given me many cups of water with which to splash myself. You can ask me whatever you need.
Very. All right. Well, here, take one more for the road, and I hand her another glass of water.
I was almost drying up. Continue.
Of course.
Moisturize me.
Olive, when you go get the glass of water, do you go like near the bar at all? Can I hand you the goggles so she doesn't come back here looking for it?
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, and I was like, oh, you must have dropped these. Here you are.
She goes, oh, thank you. She puts them back around her neck. She grabs the crystals from the table as well.
Before you leave, I was just wondering, by chance, do you know of any individuals that go by the name of Mist Rinse, or Maple Redwood, or Marble Reef?
Well, I certainly do like the alliteration of their names.
Yes, it's quite it's been quite the consistency in our travels as of late.
Yes, I do know them. Established doctors, all of them in their fields. Seems that it might be a lucky moniker.
Are they from the Palm?
Looks over at you and goes, some of them are, others traveled here.
And I'd like to pull out the ad that I have for the job that Barnum and Arthur's crew took and got lost on, that signed MRPHD. And I want to show it to her and say, there must be some confusion, so many MRPHDs in the phone book. Could this have been you, or was this one of them? I've just been trying to get a hold of my old crew.
Of course, I'll be as helpful as I can. She takes the note. She puts on like a very tiny pair of like reading glasses and goes, contracted by the crates, and we're going to go there. Okay, excellent. She looks at the shop name. The shop name, I don't have the document up in front of me right now.
I sent it, courier to Rockfall.
I think.
Plog Stop.
The Plog Stop, yes. What was that called?
Plog Stop in the Purser district.
Looks at the Plog Stop and goes, a building which has since been demolished because it is under Emmons' control, or was under Emmons' control.
Oh. Okay.
He must have been contracting out bad jobs and giving them to unsuspecting captains, those not looking to want to give up cuts to the different Thieves Guild members, and it seems that whoever was paying him, and he's using my signature, of course he was. How unfortunate. It seems your crew has been done a great injustice. Give me an insight check. Everyone here can give me an insight check if necessary.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip my coin.
There you go.
Wait, what did she say exactly about the Plog Stop? It's now been demolished.
It's been demolished as it was under Emmons' control, and basically implying that people who were loyal to Emmon are just getting the fuck out of here.
And it was used to bring in unsuspecting crews.
Yes.
I got an 18.
18. Cowrie, you know this. I'm going to say without anybody else even having to roll. Cowrie, personally, you would know this well. What are the odds that Emmon would know how to read and write?
Oh, yeah, very low.
Exactly.
Okay. But she can't lie.
She didn't tell any lies.
Okay.
Emmon was using her signature. She never said that
And-
Emmon made the signature, just that Emmon was using her signature. She knows exactly what this note was and she had to personally sign it.
Oh,
Okay.
it must be really difficult when people just go around using your name without your permission.
You couldn't be more correct. And now, the only remnants of Emmon's conscious being is within small little gray matter chunks inside of Netlox's fist. Seems that we all worked as a team to get him, right?
Yes, and we are very grateful for the reward.
One last question.
Yes.
Do you know where Ajax is?
Who's Ajax?
AJ, she means
Oh.
AJ Axel, if you know
Yeah.
the name.
AJ Axel. AJ Axel. This is the most serious you've seen her get. The name. He's somewhere far away.
What do you mean?
It's always difficult telling hard truths to friends. But I do believe he's incredibly uncomfortable wherever he happens to be.
Mm.
Um,
Maybe a bit stuck. Unable to leave.
Imprisoned, one might say.
did he deserve this?
She looks right over at you, her, and not angry with you, but you can hear anger in her voice. She goes, absolutely he did. Without question, he did. Because I have been slighted personally by AJ Axel. And I intend to exact personal revenge.
What'd he do?
Oh, she thinks long and hard about how to phrase this as she goes, he deeply wounded someone who I am very close to. We are inseparable. We are of the same mind. And he wounded her as a irresponsible, immature, rash, angry child wounded her deeply.
Well, good to know in case we ever run into him again that we know now that he has the capacity to do that. And we appreciate you sharing that with us. I'm sure it must have been hard.
You notice that, like, the magical veils are starting to wear on her just a tad as she goes, not in like a way of like recognizing what's been happening, but more like you know, Dust of Deliciousness kind of wearing off a little bit, the charm kind of wearing off a little bit.
Charm lasts an hour.
Oh, charm is still on. Zone of Truth kind of wearing off a little bit. Goes, well, all of this talk of prophecy and philosophy, perhaps your paths will cross again, but I doubt he will be the same person that he was before. I think significant changes are taking place in his life soon.
Oh.
I mean, if we were to stumble upon him, would it be in the arbor? You know, just Not that we're looking, just to be cautious of finding him again.
Looks over at you, her, and goes, farther from here. No.
Mm.
Not within the arbor.
Okay.
Well, this has been lovely,
It has been lovely, yes.
but I do believe we should part ways now.
I have one more question. I have one more question.
I must say, for a group...
That's
And-
Rhyme rolling his eyes, not me, okay?
Maury gets on the table, lays on her back, and with both her feet and both of her arms, grabs as many people's hands as possible, and goes, everyone. Her neck's kind of craning around as she goes, we are friends. If you have more questions to ask, you can simply ask them. I do not want to be in your hair, but I wanted to make sure that we have a good rapport going before, of course, if anything happens to you, that we were friendly beforehand.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Well, see, Netlock, beautiful construct, so cool.
He's wonderful.
Just because I am nosy about drama, I like the gossip.
Okay.
Back at Emmons Tower, there was a bar patron who tagged along with us, a Leonin, just looking to bust some heads, wanted to come with us to deal with whoever burnt the tavern. Netlock took an immediate disliking to this Leonin. Do you know what was up with that?
Oh, of
Does
course.
Netlock just... Yeah, why was that?
Oh, well, he wasn't trying... Well, okay, I'm sorry. It wasn't trying to kill Yorda.
I would like to point out, I didn't say his name. Is that on purpose that she said his name?
Yes.
Okay.
In no way was he trying to kill him. Call it a scientific hunch. I kind of sits on the table cross-legged. I'm going to be very clear with all of you. We've been talking a lot about very high-level religious, prophetic things, and the number 6. I'm going to be honest with you. I came in here fully expecting that I had the other 5... Arthur's also here. The other 5 people, which I've been so interested in. But I don't, and I'm confused now, because if that's incorrect, I have no idea how the lion fits into all of this. Not a clue. It was a scientific hunch, but long ago, intense physical trauma could bring out certain properties within a subject I was working on. And not sure what role the Leonin is supposed to fill, I instructed Netlocks to beat Yorda within an inch of his life. I underestimated the structure of the building. M included was not up to the building codes which I was trying to enforce. But obviously, Netlocks just didn't hit him hard enough. So if you ever do see that Leonin again, if you happen to run into him, send him my way.
Oh, of course.
Thank you. Just
Have
like
a
you
good
motherfucker.
night.
Yes?
Me.
Yes.
Have a good night, Maury.
As
Don't let the hangover hit you too hard.
Yes,
as
Gab?
for I want to help her out and make sure that if she does put the goggles on, that there's no way she's looking at the bar.
Can I cool down Yorda's temperature with my frost magic?
Holy shit, that's cool. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You help Maury up. She's stumbling a little bit. She's very light. She's very she's almost like hanging off of your arm, like fully like arm wrapped around. Because like she's a light individual. As you're kind of like walking out, she goes. She kind of like looks over at you and goes, that's just. She puts the goggles on and goes. And she takes them off and goes, some kind of odd interference. What is it? You must have a magnetic personality.
I have been told that I'm a very good jokester, if that's what you mean.
You walk her, the door, you unlock the door, you walk her out to the back of Netlocks, she reaches up. You watch as she puts in an incredibly complicated passcode into like the sides and the actual button of the hatch, and goes, well, I cannot wait for us to hear more of them. The next time we meet, sound good?
Yeah, I will prepare some jokes and maybe we'll do a little roast together.
I would love to hear what you have to say about me.
All beautiful and kind things, of course.
That is the exact opposite of what a roast is.
I'll work on it. Don't worry.
Perfect. Well, I'm excited to see your progress as the back of Netlox opens up. A ginormous, like foot-thick iron door swings open as she goes, well then, goodbye everybody, it was a pleasure, and I'll be catching you all later. As she hops into the back, shuts Netlox, Netlox stands back up, and you watch as Netlox begins slamming its way down the street. As that's happening, Rhyme, you want to cool... Mori is now in Netlox, out of the bar. What do you do to kind of like conceal that from conceal Yorda?
I did not see her out. As soon as like I hear Netlocks turn on, I am quietly just sliding over to where Yorda is, putting a hand on him, and just channeling frost magic through his body to cool him down.
Give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Okay. That's a 21.
Yorda, you feel the mithril, an incredible conductor of energy of all kinds, gets incredibly cold. You watch
Basically just cooling him down to Rhyme's natural body temperature.
You're lucky that Mori is gone because your teeth begin like chattering together. As you look at Netlox walking in the street, go and look directly back to the bar. As it looks back to the bar, you watch and begin walking away then. You then immediately know it's like, oh, she was just checking to make sure, and Rhyme probably just stopped further interaction from happening.
As cold as I have, like, what the fuck, what the fuck?
As Mori Rack, head roll Livenlean, having just given a lot of information to you guys, is now walking away. The building intact, bodies intact. Cutter Jack and Duke LaCroix having also been there. Joe Jabber in the back having been completely silent. Good job, guys.
First time in his entire life.
Round of applause for everybody.
As I walk back in, what is Duke LaCroix's first comment to all of us?
The first thing that the Duke says is, well, my goodness. I must say I was a little bit uncomfortable with the fact that she was using her feet like they were hands. I mean, they are technically hands, but she was holding onto people's hands with her feet. That's kind of a strange thing to do, is it not? Cutter goes, hey, I must agree with you there, pal.
Well, she is an apeling, and, well, that's in her nature.
I would like to, and I can do like a sleight of hand check for this, or something like that, but I'd like to quietly, as people are coming back in, just like lean a little bit over to Olive and be like, whenever you're ready, I'd like to have a chat with you.
Of course, let me lock up, and there's plenty of spare rooms. I can meet you in whichever one you like.
Wait, yeah, sure, wherever you're comfortable. Yeah, and that's it. I'm gonna go piss. Rhyme's like, I gotta go piss. I'll be back.
It's upstairs, third room on the left.
Excellent.
Got it.
And with that, I think we take a very quick break for people to get food, to chill out, and then we can come back for just a little bit of role play before we end off. Sound good, everybody?
Yeah.
Awesome. Everybody, see you in a little bit.
Woo! 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 Woo!
That was so good.
Oh, wow. Music kicked in.
Oh. We got...
There we go.
There we go. Fixed up like nothing was wrong.
Back to normal.
And we're back. Yeah. Excellent job negotiating that social time bomb. And now you can take rest. Yes, her.
I think as I walk back into the tavern, hearing the Duke say that and everything that just happened, I think her is going to shut the door behind her,
Okay.
lock it,
Okay.
and then she's going to shout, Yorda, we need to talk. What? How did you find us? And what were you doing before us? Why was there not a sixth question? We know the 5 questions, people. Why was there not a sixth question?
Now hold on. I don't think there's need to interrogate.
Hang on, he needs to thaw. Just give him a second.
I pour oh shit. I pour Yorda a very strong drink, like I pour him like a
Hot
shot of
toddy.
whiskey. Yeah, no, it's like a shot of whiskey to warm him up.
Toddy?
Yeah, fucking make a hot toddy. No,
Let me pull up my backstory Word doc.
as you're doing that, I don't think there's unless there's something Yorda wants to share with us. I think it's pretty obvious that the 6th question is or was for AJ. And he's not here. So
She said there was no 6th question for us because it's already been answered.
But why can we assume AJ?
Well, you weren't with us, but when Netlox attacked, he only went after Yorda. He said that it needed to test his combat prowess, as well as, I believe he said unknown variable. And Yorda, there's much we should share with you if you are in the dark as much as we think you are, but AJ was connected in some way to MRPHD, as we know now.
My confusion is if she has AJ, and AJ is far away now, under punishment, why? It doesn't make sense. Because if it's 6 of us, right? 6, or 6 of us here, right? She wouldn't have separated us with him.
Well, we don't know that. You're talking separated us from AJ?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what happened. I just got the note that he left. I don't know if he was taken or that he did leave and then found trouble.
We know AJ got sold out by Althea to the Fist.
I
Yes.
wonder.
No, go ahead.
I wonder if he's in the same place that Barnum and Landon and Eden and the rest of Arthur's crew are. I feel like that would make unfortunate sense.
Okay, 2 things. One, she was talking about magical weapons, and then her, like, as she's contemplating this, like, kind of looks up at Cowrie and is like, is your guitar one of them? Your lute?
I mean,
I
don't think so. It doesn't have any magical properties. It just looks really sick.
Also,
I don't mean to be interrupting of thought trains, but I'm pretty sure the way she talked about heroes and weapons and the way she viewed us potentially at the beginning, we would be the weapons, not the wielders.
But then she talked about the mob and, like, the other places where people went to look for the weapons, unless we are the weapons. I don't know.
Powerful magical weapons have a way of turning sentient, so I wouldn't be surprised. We have to contend with the very real possibility that once people realize what we are, or what we could be according to these prophecies, our fundamental rights to freedom may be at risk. And it will only become more and more apparent the more we spend time together.
I have never met that lady in my life, so why does she know my name?
Yeah, that was weird.
We never met her.
She knew my name. And I'm pretty sure I've been introducing myself as Saul this entire fucking time, but oh well.
Okay, so then how did you? So you're not associated. You didn't just. You weren't told to come to see us.
No.
Inside check.
Are we still under the zone of truth or no?
I said that
Nah.
faded.
Mm.
I don't believe so.
Oh wait, yeah, and we.
Also, because it was first level bootleg magic, so.
And I forgot that we all
it was
passed
allowed to
anyway.
happen. Would you roll?
I rolled a 6, okay?
Okay.
I'm tired.
I mean, I'm okay. Yeah, that's.
It's
fine.
been a day for all of you.
You know,
Yeah.
yours is
I
hard to
fell
read.
6 stories into the ground.
I guess I'm hard to read. But you get the sense that I'm telling the truth.
You know,
Do we need to split up? Do one of us just need to leave?
I don't want to split up.
my job is to protect you guys. And that's what I'm gonna do.
You mean your job as in your job, or this is something you're taking on yourself?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
To what end, then? And did I hop into that, or was I included in that from the beginning?
Drew, at any point, if I start talking too much, you know what to do.
I didn't. Okay. All right.
It's difficult to word without running into problems, but after the bracelet incident, I was in a little bit of hot water. Nothing I can't handle. But I was tasked with locating 5 individuals who had the potential to turn into problems. And to make sure that they made the better choice.
What kinds
Now-
of problem? Sorry.
I don't know if you guys have gleaned much from my stoic personality, but I'm not really good with people. Like, just in general. Like, I can make it through the first hour, but then after that I run out of I Spy games, and so... this is not exactly in my wheelhouse, so I may also just be completely going sideways here, but the fact that I'm still able to talk, I think, tells me all I need to know. You guys... God, Arthur is just taking a really fat nap over there, isn't he?
Owls are nocturnal.
He's earned it. I don't know much besides the fact that the first 5 of you were important. I needed to babysat is a crude word for it, because you're all adults. And I don't like inhering on people's agency unless absolutely necessary. This is difficult. I wasn't told much, so I'll need to look into it.
Who told you we were important?
Would it have been Davrosa?
It
Or-
would have been, but as you try to like say that, your tattoos kind of restrict what you can say.
Right.
Right.
I'm just confused how now you're a part of it. If you were protecting us.
Yeah, that definitely was not in the debrief that I got. So
Well, because you found all of us, but you couldn't have made sure that we were all there and Rebound at the same time that we found Yorda. So whatever this prophecy is, I think there has to be some amount of fate to it that you were meant to be here too.
Can I ask a different question, Rhyme? What came first? These, and I'll point to your neck, or that, and I'll point to your head.
are you talking about packs?
Yeah.
These came first. 2 years now, right, Pax?
Something of the sort, yes.
Yeah.
What if I just have a Pax inside me?
Ooh, I need to roll.
Oh,
If you
because
have
we're
something
2
of the-
for 6 possessions. We could be trending upwards.
You're not possessed. Her.
I don't think you're possessed either.
No, you have something different going on in you.
She had a
Yeah.
weird wraith thing.
It's. And you see Rhyme just like get visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, Yorda a little bit too.
Oh,
Yeah, a little bit.
what?
A little bit.
Maybe something more so in just your nature.
It's I don't want to say familiar, but it's something.
I turn to the Duke. I'm like, you have a weird expression too?
He's just like, this is my face. I don't know what you want me to do.
The Duke is like half a bottle of wine in and goes, "What did you just ask of me? I'm not sure I understood the question."
Never
Oh,
mind. Shut up.
All right,
answer
yes,
this-
ma'am.
Duke, answer this then.
Yes.
Could she do what she can do now? Could she do that when you remember her?
Not even slightly.
Okay.
Maury did say that certain things can happen when people are put through extreme traumas.
Okay. Not about. All right. Less about me. And then she looks over at Olive and goes, "Okay, you also have powers. Were you born with it? Magic? Born with it?"
Well, yes, to some extent, my family and I, for many generations, have carried down a line of magic that was gifted to us from Sylvanas.
Damn. Is Sylvanas the like water goddess of revenge and shit?
No, I think he's known as the.
He's the guy. He's the god of nature, I believe. It's like
Yeah, he's like the male counterpart to Shantaea.
yeah.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Olive, the stuff you did today, I'd never. It's never the people that you brought. Do you know? Did you do that on purpose? That was really cool.
No, I didn't.
Did you know who they were? Had you met them before?
Kind of glance over to like Cutter Jack and Duke LaCroix.
Oh.
You know, I'm thinking It's getting pretty late.
Wait, one last question or thing to think about. What if the 5 questions weren't for 5 people, but the 5 questions were for one singular person?
That'd be a really fucked up person.
That'd be one hell of a person.
Like, Jesus Christ.
It's possible. No, it's
At
possible.
least they'd be calm about philosophy, you know?
Joe Jabber looks around and is like, I'd rather be dead.
They were all for Joe Jabber, actually.
What are your thoughts, Joe Jabber?
Please roll a d12 for me.
3?
Where is it?
Okay.
Is this?
8.
8? Awesome. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
Oh, we didn't ask her about the exploding lady in Rebound.
I don't think that. I think that was
I-
the other. I think that was the other lady.
Yeah, that was Miss Rince who I asked about, and she
Yeah.
just said like, "Oh, I know that we're all the doctors know each other."
I think it's an evil cult of doctors. I swear.
that's the
Evil
BBG.
never believe
Doctors. We're anti-doctors here.
Doctors.
Joe Jabber looks at you, Rhyme, and goes, you want to know what I think?
Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
he looks at you with like insane, crazy eyes. You got like big white hair, a big bushy beard, very disheveled, and goes, well, I'll tell you something. Only I've seen a man with a bowl on his head who walks into the sun and he grabs it in his fist.
Uh-huh.
That's what I've seen. And don't you forget that now.
I won't.
We never will, Mr.
I
Jabber.
remember that guy.
Jeffrey was his name.
Was it a soup bowl?
Bowl was brown. I saw it correct.
Oh, it was wooden. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or pot. Or it could have been clay.
Or was his hair cut in the shape of a bowl?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
shit.
call me crazy. Everyone here, please give me an Arcana check, or an investigation check, or an insight check, or whatever really you think is most appropriate.
Wait, what are the options?
History. For you, Olive, I will just tell you this.
Okay.
But everyone can roll investigation, insight.
Her, what do you want to roll?
They're all +1.
Okay. 16.
There you go.
I got a 17 insight.
17 insight.
I got an 8.
8. Ryan, what'd you get?
13.
13. Cowrie,
Arcana.
you hear. You're like, bowl on head. We kind of know somebody like that. That's a little bit specific.
Yeah.
But grasping the sun in his fist is kind of weird a little bit. And then, Cowrie, you kind of start to put it together. You're like, and you heard tale of this from pirate captains to pirate captains. Some people, some known as all-seers, some known as like battle sight, some known as shell shock. People who can have prophetic wisdom in a sense. And you look at this man, half of what he says probably means nothing. Half of what he says might be insights into things that are to come. And there's really no way of knowing which is which. Because pirates work off of legend, they work off of stories, they work off of legacy, and so
standardized education.
And so, Cowrie, you kind of like in this moment, you're like, maybe there's some truth to what this mad man. Like, it would take a pirate's upbringing and a pirate's life to be like, see that crazy person? That's the smartest guy I know. So there's that. Olive, you just know this, having learned this from your parents. The history of Joe Jabber. Joe Jabber, a long time ago, 30, 40, 50 years ago, was a divination wizard. A divination wizard who, again, long time ago, was using that prophetic power and glimpsed all possible futures for 1 second. This drove him completely insane. He is completely non-hostile. He's not a danger to anybody, and your parents and your family, and the community has taken great care of him because sometimes, although he talks in extravagant riddles, sometimes what he says comes true. It is just on those that hear it to interpret it correctly.
And we're about to take take Joe Jabber on every quest with us.
No,
Yeah.
we can't.
I
How do you
want
feel
to-
about this?
He's an old man.
Crazy guy.
Argalier.
5 hit points.
Wait, I want to say, you said his name was Joe. Us putting together that the bowl on his head and the bowl cut, I want to use silent image to make a little image of AJ and show it to Joe Jabber and be like, is this the man you saw grasping the sun in his fist?
My face is just that of pure joy that you would have that idea. That is fucking wonderful. Joe goes, oh, well, let me just quickly, and just kind of like looks like kind of all around like the little image that you just conjured, and goes like, well, I think that was the man. Of course, he had more cuts on him when I saw him. Something about a line right underneath where the hair stops on of his head above the eyes. Not sure though.
Thank you so much,
Get his
Joe.
brain taken out.
Because here's what I think happened. I think that an evil eel found a way to eat his head off and then go inside of his body and then wriggle around and take over his arms and legs and then walk him around. And he's over there doing shows with monkey people. And he's going to be dancing around. But in reality, I don't think I trust that at all. Because what I think is going on is that it's some kind of conspiracy by sock companies. Because you never see people selling one sock in particular. Maybe it's because the eels are just hiding. Because if they were selling only one sock, then they know, oh, there are eel people walking among us. And that's why he's dancing around with 2 feet, 2 socks on. That's what I'm thinking. What do you think?
Or maybe they injected him with something. Maybe he has electric powers.
Injecting him with something like jelly beans. You couldn't be more correct. You see, 'cause what's happening is you got people in top hats with large gummy bears, big as real ones, walking around trying to take over your mind, but he's not going to let it happen, are they? I will do this forever until you stop me.
Harry is listening enraptured by this.
What is
just
the
believes everything this man says.
What is the Duke's reaction to all of this?
I assume this is what passes for entertainment when you do not have any kind of theater, and when your primary pastime is killing people in the streets, I guess. As Cutter just like, I take offense to that, and you're completely correct. Yes.
Entertainment, this man is a genius.
So controversial and yet so brave.
Duke is like, Cowrie, no. You can't possibly. You know, it's your culture. I'm not going to say no. Her, I have a question for you. Do you believe in this gobbledygook this man is saying?
Well, he knew AJ, so maybe.
It could have also been a short man with a bowl on his head talking about grasping the sun and incinerating himself. Capitan, it's a woman that I knew would never believe such of this nonsense. I am amazed.
I think you believe sounded, kind of rude.
What did you say?
I think you heard me.
I didn't hear you. No, I was actually. It's an audio processing disorder. I couldn't hear you.
Bro. I actually have that.
I know.
Representation win.
You know what? Never mind. Doesn't matter. I'm going to bed. Good night.
All right. I would have slapped you with a
I'll
white
be
glove.
up in my room, playing tic-tac-toe with Pax. And I will just try to catch Olive's eye. as I
I hand you a key to an unused room
Mhm.
and just
Thank you.
nod.
There's more than enough for everybody here.
Yeah, I pass out keys to everyone, including Duke McCrory and Cutter Jack, and Joe Jabber as well. Kind of like it's literally like a man in a nursing home, and just coming up to him like, "Mr. Jabber, can I get you anything?
Yeah?
Can I get you anything? Here's a key to a room. Can I get you anything?"
Oh, well, Olive, I think you've been more than kinder. Can be kind, can be kind. I think I'll be taking myself to the Feather Pillow and be resting away going to Dreamtown real soon.
All right. Well, if you need anything, don't hesitate to ask myself or any of my family.
Puts a hand on your shoulder and goes, "You're a good piece of seaweed," and then he walks off.
Cries a little bit. And passes out keys to everyone else, their own room. It's been quite a day. I'm sure there'll be more to discuss, more to do tomorrow, but for now we should rest. I think that would do us all some good.
We lived,
live.
Yes, that is true. We did. We did.
And it seems that the vibe is going to be that everyone goes to bed except for Olive and Rhyme, correct? Unless there's anything anybody else wants to do or talk about, please let me know.
Real quick. As I'm handing Yorda his key, I just lean into him and say, you deserve a full explanation as to what's happening, and whenever you want it, just let me know.
I will take the key, and I will say, and maybe when that time comes, I'll divulge a little bit more about it as well.
What?
And when that, and I said, and I appreciate that, and when that time comes, maybe you'll learn a little bit more about me as well, and I will go upstairs.
Loses himself.
And unless there's anything else anyone else wants to do, I will go find Rhyme. Oh, actually, wait, no, sorry. Sorry, as I'm kind of doing a pass around talk kind of thing real quick. As I hadn't carry their key, I say to them, it's been a long day, but if you have a moment, doesn't have to be tonight, could be tomorrow. I'd like to talk to you about something if it doesn't conflict with anything you've got going on. I don't know when we'll have another quiet moment after tonight, but whenever.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. I hand them a very shiny key.
Excellent.
And as I'm handing hers key, can I try to make that history check again about the skinny man rolling dice to see if I can recall?
Yes, you may.
All right, it was still with advantage?
Flat history check this time.
Okay. Please.
Do you
8.
Do you have a coin?
Oh, I do! Let me flip a dip.
Everybody, summon your energy.
Oh my.
It was worse!
It was worse. The best one was an 8.
The mystery continues.
All right. I just hand her key, and you kind of see like gears turning. She's like, I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you something, but I can't. It'll come to me probably in the middle of the night.
It's okay. And then I'll take the key and I'll turn to Duke and I'll be like, "You want to dip? You want to go party?"
That is the Capitan that I know and love. Of course I do.
Well,
Wait, am
you're
I doing it
covering.
with you, or am I just kind of leaving the building?
No, we're going together and you're paying. You got the tab.
You're just sucking every coin out of him.
Yeah, you guys have so much debt.
That is the
You
Capitan
made him
that I
pay
know.
your debt, and now you're making him pay for your first round. That's hilarious.
And then as we're walking out, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, can you believe that that woman today? I don't believe jack shit she said." I just want to see his thoughts.
We talked to a lot of ladies. I assumed you mean the monkey one.
Yeah. Do you know her?
No.
Okay.
What kind of a question was that? I am just a guy with a sword. Soon to be.
Gee, calm down. I'm just checking. I don't know. Maybe she has some truth to what she's saying. But.
I love how her is trying to feel this man out. What do you think? Was he kind of crazy? Oh yeah, that was pretty crazy to me.
Just shaking him in that Pringles can. Like,
What do you think?
If okay. What's up?
Yeah, what were you gonna say? I'm listening.
If I may, that woman spoke with a friendly demeanor, but I would not trust what she said. Not to say that she was lying, but. And then you see he actually takes off his hat, and you can see like the middle parted like curly hair, which is underneath, and he puts the hat on your head, her, and he goes, "Just trust me for a moment," and he walks over, he picks up a rock, and he underhand tosses the rock directly at your face, and you can feel your head be seeming like pulled to the side just by a couple inches, enough for the rock to sail past you, and you can feel the hat as you can feel the feather perched atop the hat begin to kind of vibrate, signaling that danger is near. As the Duke quickly draws his saber, hooks the hat, and puts it back on his head, and goes, I will be honest with you. It seems that I was demolishing a bottle of wine, which I was, but while I was doing that, I was keeping my eye on you and the crew, and Dr. Iraq. The feather would not stop vibrating. I believe that great danger was just avoided.
Yeah. Do you get that feeling with anybody else in the crew?
Although I have only known you all for a day or two at this point, a bit foolish and certainly uncultured, but a fine group of sailors to be with.
Okay.
In your
Let's party.
Let's party. Of all of the people you could have stumbled into the care of, I think you may have found the best people possible.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's go get wine drunk.
Yeah!
Let's go! And the Duke and her go out on the town for the
I
evening.
wanted you to say that he takes off his hat to reveal another hat so badly. So badly.
Bartholomew looking ass.
And that's I have another fancy hat.
Unless Cowrie wants to do something before the run and olive thing, I want to do a quick thing with Lorna. When he goes up to his room or whatever, he like takes off all his armor and whatnot, and kind of like props it up, airs it out, whatever. And he'll just like sit on his ankles, kind of, and take off his necklace pendant, which, as you described before, is like the open hand.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of like hold it in his hands and think, and just kind of like mutter to himself, like, you know, like something along the lines of like, someone help me make sense of this. And then I'll like pray a little bit to be, you know, if anything happens to the pendant in my hand. I don't think anything will, but obviously if I'm wrong, you let me know.
As you hold the pendant in your hand and you say, help me make sense of this. You're tapped out. You are...
I'm tired.
The magical energy which you channel into this world is low. But even as you call out, being the spiritual man that you are, the pendant that you hold in your hand, you're able to feel just... It's in your ear, just slightly. And you can feel the pendant kind of vibrate a bit as you just hear a rumbling of thunder. Something is listening to you. But in terms of a response, you get the sense that just as things are happening around the world out of your control, as storms come and there is confusion, storms pass and things are then made clear once again. And you get the sense that, at least through this prayer, you're in the middle of a storm, but soon it shall clear, and soon things shall be calm once again. Make sense?
I'll put the pendant back on, I put the necklace back on. I'll rub the tattoo on my shoulder a little bit for good luck, and then I will go to sleep.
And then you head off to bed. You rest. Excellent. Cowrie, anything?
No, I am all good. I go settle. I catalog my shinies. I put them away. I go to sleep.
Excellent. This is the first proper bed you have
Careful of
slept
the bag,
in.
man.
Bag man.
This is
Oh,
the-
I toss a piece of glass in for the bagman.
You see the bag. You see a gray hand come out, catches it perfectly, and then and just quickly takes it back.
I cast message and I say, "Good night, sleep well in there, love you."
Excellent. Message responds back as no words can be formed.
Oh my god.
And I go to sleep.
And then you go to sleep. Cowrie sleeps. Olive and Rhyme. You guys are able to meet up.
I once everyone's gone back upstairs and I make sure everything's all locked up for the night. I go to where Rhyme's room is and I knock on the door.
I'm in.
You
walk in and there are papers scattered everywhere of tic-tac-toe.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
I know, Pax is just kicking my ass, so you can come in. Let me clean this up.
All right.
Okay. No, you go.
No, I wanted to ask what you wanted to talk about.
Okay. How do I say this without you being even more afraid of me? Oh boy. I'm not good at this.
You can be honest, I can take it.
Olive, what are you? And when I say that, I don't mean the magic or the legacy or anything really outside of yourself. I mean, what do you think you are?
I think I'm a danger to myself and others.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Does that make you bad?
I up until recently, yes. I thought it did.
I want you to understand something. I am not the Grim Reaper here to take everything you love and cherish away from you because of something you don't know how to control yet. I am not. I don't like killing people, Olive. I know it probably looks to the contrary. Life is incredibly precious, and freedom and time are some of the things that are truly finite. We don't get them back once they're spent. And yes, my job requires me to sometimes remove one or more of those fundamental rights from people. But it is not my first answer to a question. Olive, do you think you're a problem?
Yes.
Welcome to the club. When I was 15, I accidentally set fire to the church in my village. And I burned half of it down. And you see him like struggle and fight through something. I almost killed a man. I might have. I don't know. But a man came to town while I was recovering. And his name was Lazarus. He was a spellbreaker. He saw what I was, saw what I had done, saw how the villagers looked at me, and he gave me a second chance. And he taught me how to control the avalanche that is inside of me. And it does not come from sheer force of will, Olive. It comes from choice and patience, which I admit I lack a great deal of. And something that I haven't figured out yet. I can't tell you how to live, and I can't tell you much of anything, really, but I can tell you that I don't think you're a problem, Olive.
Why are you telling me this?
Because you don't deserve to be afraid of you. I'm not good at this. I don't want you to feel like you have to act like there's a guillotine above your neck every time you look at me. Because I'm not here to take away your power, Olive. I have spent over a decade, more of my life than not, learning to be a spellbreaker. And because it sometimes requires me to make unfair, cloudy choices, I need to know for sure before I do something irreversible that it's the better choice. And you have never been a person in this group who I have worried about straying. Whatever morality system you think of, I can look at you, Olive, and I can see somebody who is probably the, there's no good word for it. Purist is not correct, nor is good. But there's a light to you, Olive. And you don't deserve to have it snuffed out because you're learning how to be alive. Pax, am I doing a good job here?
And you say you aren't good with people.
I don't know, she's crying.
The word that you're looking for is gentle. At least from what I have seen. She is the gentlest person here. But gentle and weak are not synonyms.
Synonyms.
Even I have trouble speaking sometimes.
I just imagine Olive like hearing just Rhyme's side of this conversation.
It's to that point. I can understand Celestial, you know? It's not fair of me to say this because I've only picked up on half of the conversation, but I've heard you say you don't like out of control magic, and that's what I have.
Olive, I was talking about myself.
You don't know what I'd give to be like you. Confident, never afraid of what a simple spell could cause. You're everything I wanted to be when I was younger. Can you tell me what happened at the bracelet?
A lost soul was hurt. I don't know how the lightning started from him, but I was called in because I was the closest one there. And like you feel cold start spreading, like you start seeing your breath. I have this thing about me that comes out when I'm hurt. It happened when we were putting your tavern out. I don't like fire. I don't enjoy being hurt. It was a tougher battle than I thought it would be. And I lost a little bit of control towards the end. And I took away his life. Mostly because I had to, but partly because I could not stop myself from doing it. Which is rough. Which is rough for a guy whose whole morality is around freedom of choice and knowing the consequences of your actions. Sorry, I am trying to empathize. Empathy is new to me. Most emotions are pretty new to me.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring any of this out.
You're okay. You didn't know. You don't know. Thank you, Pax. Thank you. Thank you.
Deep breathing.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. God, being vulnerable fucking sucks. It's awful. How do people do it? Ugh. Ugh. I want to honor your feelings, but I just need to clear the air right now, Olive. I am almost not a person. I am so thinly on the line between personhood and monsterhood that sometimes I don't think it exists. And I am a monster that is in control of themselves and uses their fundamentally shattered and broken nature to do good in the world, because what else am I gonna do? And thanks to a lot of training and work with the spell breakers, I am able to harness my lack of humanity to an effective degree, but I am not somebody to look up to. I don't want to be somebody that people need to run away from. I don't want to be scary, but I'm a very broken person, if you couldn't tell. And what I think you have, Olive, is priceless. The ability to carry all of your feelings and emotions and still smile and still be gentle with the world around you is something I would have loved to have as a child. I didn't get my emotions until adulthood, so a little tricky there. I feel twitchy. Am I twitchy?
No, you're fine. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I judged you on knowing nothing. I on eavesdropping conversations and situations I know nothing about, and drawing a conclusion that's not the kind of person I want to be. And I'm very sorry that I caused this wedge because I wasn't brave enough to talk to you first. I don't think you're broken, Rhyme. I don't think you're a monster. From what I've seen from you, a monster doesn't put other people's needs before their own. A monster doesn't go out of their way to help, whether it's out of a sense of duty or not. If you were a monster, you wouldn't have taken on this job at all.
I will carefully consider that alternative. Sorry, I am very used to people just being quite afraid of me. And, bravery is not the absence of fear, Olive. It's being afraid and doing the hard thing in spite of it. And you're allowed to want to be safe. And when you see something that looks like a wolf, sounds like a wolf, and acts like a wolf, you're allowed to jump to conclusions that might be a fucking wolf over there. And I know I feel like you don't have anything to apologize for, but I think maybe in this situation I'm just supposed to say, I forgive you. Because I do. She's really crying now. Oh God. Rhyme is just like fully fidgeting. Like I don't know how to deal with tears.
Thank you. I don't think I deserve it yet, but thank you.
And this might be terrible to say, but I think the moniker Rochi really fits us very well. We're pretty fucking hard to kill, Olive. So in terms of like people to be friends with and keep around your side while you dealing with all that's going on, not a bad roster.
No, sorry, you were.
No, I interrupted you.
No. I've been safe for almost my entire life. And I never want. I'm very grateful for the upbringing I had. I know people are much worse off.
Every child deserves to feel safe.
Yes. But it wasn't until I met all of you that that I encountered constant danger, and it was surprising at first, having nothing and then being thrown into it, but it's also, I think, the first time I felt alive.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I get that. Olive, I want you to know you're not the first person I've met with this kind of magic. And I've tried to help more people I've been tasked with than hurt. And if it brings you comfort, we can figure out what control looks like for you.
I would like that. Thank you.
Okay?
I interrupted a very important game. I wouldn't want to keep you from it.
Yeah, it's 20-3 right now, so I don't think I'm getting any better at this. What is the trick? It's like 9 squares. What?
Now, Rhyme, say something kind and have her head to bed.
Kind. Say something kind. Okay. You're allowed to feel things other than polite gentility, Olive. You're allowed to be a three-dimensional person, and you're allowed to be angry, and I hope that today proves that being angry can help.
I believe that was one of the first things you said to me when we met.
What? So there's like, you tell me.
Yeah, no, I didn't really know what it meant because no one had ever felt the need to say that to me before, but it's a nice reminder. And I don't want to take up more of your time, but before I go, this probably means nothing, but do you remember the bounty board about the Battle of the Bards?
Yeah.
The Pax Pachydons. I've actually read about them before, heard about them before. They're a quite popular performance troupe of Loxodon paladins that, I shouldn't say not all paladins, but performers that worship Pax. I don't know why it was one of the first things that clicked when you mentioned Pax first. I don't know why I kept it from you all this time, but maybe it's worth asking.
Yeah. No, that's
Or maybe that's something you could talk to them about.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. Yeah, that's the lead. We we've been trying to figure out why he ended up the way he did.
Oh.
That's really useful. Thank you.
Of course, I'm happy to be of any assistance. I don't want to keep you. I'm not familiar with the game you're playing, but I'm sure there must be a pattern that you can crack.
Pattern.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's hard to outbeat someone who lives in your head.
And the worst thing about it is he's such a good winner. He has so much grace.
And now I believe it's time
Yes,
for bed.
yes. Have a good night, Olive. And Rhyme will clumsily like grab a tissue and be like,
Oh, thank you.
yes, yours. I don't know what that feels like. Sorry.
It's not sometimes it's not great, sometimes it helps. And I think this helped.
Kind of like most emotions. Got it. Okay.
I think you have a better grasp on them than you do.
I hope so.
Good night, Rhyme. Try to get some sleep.
Yep. You
Tell-
too.
Tell
Sorry
Pax
for scaring you.
there is nothing to apologize for. Tell Pax I say good night as well.
He says, sleep tight.
As you two separate, Olive, you get to go into one of the rooms, a room that you've spent many, many years sleeping in.
Mm-hmm.
Rhyme, you stay up, continuing playing tic-tac-toe until
Get
you
my ass kicked.
drift off to sleep, as well as the last thing you hear before you go to sleep as you're cuddled up somewhere is
In
Pax.
the corner with just like a blanket
Yeah.
in my arms, just
As Pax just quickly says, "Oh, no, I see it now. You're terrible with people." Obviously.
what?
That's sarcasm.
Okay, you know I'm working on that.
What
Okay,
you
I can
just...
do it, but I don't know when it's coming towards me.
All I'm going to say is that was a wonderful conversation. And if you were not friends before, the air has been cleared, and there is a path forward to beautiful things. Sleep well, my friend.
Okay. And I think Rhyme goes to sleep that night with the thought of clear air, of like the dawn after the snow has stopped falling in his village. And the Christmas of it, and the quiet.
And with that beautiful image, that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
You guys.
Beautiful. Beautiful. The first captured, we can rewatch it. I believe the first real tears of the Rochi campaign. We love you, Kate. We love your acting ability. It's phenomenal. And before we end, ladies and gentlemen, are we all having a good time?
Yes!
Yes.
Yes,
And
sir.
yes.
Yarr.
You know I love to hear it. Lots of great stuff here tonight. That's going to be everything from us. Everybody, you have a wonderful rest of your evenings. Enjoy
Nice
the
burp.
rest of and a wonderful burp to end off on. And we will be catching you guys next time in the palm and the fist. Toodaloo, everybody. Mwah. Much love.
Hey, Yar!
Yar!
Yar har!
Yar!